What's going on, guys? It's PokePond back with another video for you. Today we've got a good one for you. I've decided to go all the way through the Sword and Shield block, have a look at prices, see what they're doing over the last couple of weeks. There are some massive discounts going on at the moment across all of Sword and Shield. It's a great time to buy and get involved, get invested and build up your collection. Make sure you subscribe down below so you never miss an opportunity. Let's get straight into it. So today I really wanted to have a look at basically like the whole Sword and Shield block. We're just going to do a price analysis and track everything, see how prices have been moving over the last couple of weeks. It's been a little while since we actually just zoomed out and had a look across the whole Sword and Shield block. I don't really want to look at Scarlet and Violet yet. As I said in sort of previous videos, everything's just way too ultra modern. There's so much supply of it about at the moment, you're not going to get any significant price rises in that yet. It's going to take at least a year to 2 years before you see that, while people sort of eat their way through that supply. So let's start off just by having a look at what's available on Pokemon Center UK. Not much has changed really from the last couple of weeks. We've got some ultra modern here, which is Paldea Evolved, Obsidian Flames, Temporal Forces. Nothing really to write home about there. You can pick these up cheaper elsewhere, cheaper than retail. And yeah, one of the big takeaways is obviously like Silver Tempest is now going out of stock, which is quite promising to see. Silver Tempest was one of those sets that started to climb up in value a little while ago and then got a big last reprint right at the end of the Sword and Shield window, so it hurt prices a little bit, but it's nice to see that supply is starting to dry up from this. I really like the Silver Tempest set. I really like the Lugia that's within that set. Some people don't like it because they say it's a bit of like a moody or a dark card. I personally love the art style on it, and I think Silver Tempest is going to be a really good set going forward. Anyway, the big main things to pick up on for retail at the moment on Pokemon Center is obviously Fusion Strike and Astral Radiance. I still think it's mad that you can pick these up for retail. Obviously there's a lot of supply about for them, but I do see these sets doing really well. As soon as that supply dries up, I can see these jumping quite quickly to 200 a box, and then if you zoom out another 6 months to a year, we could be seeing sort of in the 250 to 300 pound range quite easily, maybe far more than that. I do think that Astral Radiance and Fusion Strike are going to be the next ones to pump when they go out of stock, and then Brilliant Stars and Silver Tempest are going to follow behind that as well, because they're both excellent sets. But I do think the money's going to flow into Fusion Strike and Astral Radiance first. Anyway, it's important to see just what's in stock before we start analysing prices, because that does determine what's going on with prices at the moment. So let's have a start at the very start of the Sword and Shield block, and we'll just quickly whiz through and do all of the mainline sets. So Sword and Shield base, we actually haven't looked at it in quite a while. I'm amazed that it is the price it is at the moment. Usually base sets don't do too well until about 4 to 5 years after release, when then people just realise, oh look, we actually can't get this anywhere because no one put them away because it's such a bad set. But yeah, so Sword and Shield is actually having a really good week over in America. We're seeing quite a big rise, so it went from 274 to now pretty consistently around the $300 range there. So that's around about a 10% rise in the last week, which is actually quite surprising to see. But I think it's more down to the fact that just A, people don't really put these away that much, and B, when they do put them away, they just don't sell them that often. So if demand outweighs supply, it's just going to push the price up a little bit. Personally, I wouldn't invest into a base set. I've been invested into like Sun and Moon base set in the past. I've talked about it on the channel a little bit, but it did take a very, very long time for me to see a realised profit on that. You can pick them up in the UK. The cheapest here is $224. There is one for sale for like 100, but I don't know if I trust that one, to be honest. I'm not saying it's fake. It's just yeah. I'm not too sure about that one. It's like 100 quid, and it's from someone with like no feedback as well. I think this is more the accepted price here. So do watch out for scams and stuff like that. Like I said, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Me personally, though, I wouldn't buy that one. I've just got a bad feeling about it. Let's go on to Rebel Clash. Rebel Clash is tumbling in price, which I'm not surprised about before. Around about this point, around about 3 months ago on the channel, I said I was amazed that Rebel Clash is up in the $230 range and that I don't feel it should be there yet. I think long term, yes, but I was amazed that it was already at like 230 for how bad a set it is. And yeah, now we're starting to see it come back down. Everyone's just dumping it. And yeah, I would always recommend with investing, like, it's not just about picking up the cheapest sets. Me personally, I like to put my money in sets that I like, and it's supply and demand at the end of the day. Like, if you like the set, there's chances are there's buyers out there that'll like the set as well. Rebel Clash is famously a bit of a junk set, and some people do say it's one of the worst Sword and Shield sets out there. So I'm not surprised to see the price really start to tumble on this one. Sad times if you bought in at this point, but then again, like I said on the channel, this channel isn't about advice on flipping products. It is about the long-term hold. Even if you'd have bought in at this point, if you hold it for a couple of years, I do think you will see a profit and at least get your money back. It's all about just being patient. It's the same with any investment, really. If you're patient enough, you'll win in the long run. Rebel Clash, you can buy it for $2.19 on UK eBay or $2.25 with postage. Again, probably not where I'd put my money for that price point. I'd rather put my money into probably like Fusion Strike or Astral Radiance, which is even cheaper. It is getting up there in age a little bit though. Darkness Ablaze had a massive tumble over the last month or so, and we have been tracking it a little bit on the channel. I don't think it's really ever going to get cheaper than this. I keep saying this about these sets, but this is discount season at the moment for Sword and Shield sets. People are just dumping them left, right, and centre. I think they're stupid for doing so. If you pick up these sets now for a discount, I think you will do very well long term. Again, Darkness Ablaze probably wouldn't be where I'd place my money at that price point, but I do like Darkness Ablaze. I do have it in my portfolio, stored away. I've got a few booster boxes. I do like it. It's just, yeah, I probably put my money elsewhere, and that's why you're starting to see some of these prices tumble a little bit. You can pick it up super cheap in the UK right now. Again, below retail price for such an old Sword and Shield set is pretty crazy to me. Obviously, you've got the big Charizard chase card as well. I do think Darkness Ablaze is going to be a desirable set in a couple of years' time, but right now everyone's just dumping it at the moment, and we're seeing prices dump across all of the Sword and Shield block. I just want to say as well that, like, with investments, like, people kind of lose sight. Investment space is like one of the weirdest markets in the world. So like when prices are really high, people rush in and there's loads of demand. But when prices are low, people are like, oh no, I don't want that, don't want to touch that. Like, people really FOMO in when prices are high. Just like, take this example, okay? Say you walk into a shop and the prices of the food in the shop are really high. You'd be like, oh, I'm not buying that. But in the investment space, it goes the other way. When prices are high, people can't get enough of it and they're buying. Oh, you've got to get it. You know, prices are going up. You don't want to FOMO into it. Whereas if you walked into a shop and everything's on sale, there's discounts everywhere, you'd be happy and you'd buy in. It's the same with Pokemon investment. You just need to have the same mindset as if you were in a shop. Like, these products aren't getting made anymore. It is so unlikely that these early Sword and Shield sets are going to get reprinted at this point. They're getting up there in age now. We're hitting the 2-year window on most of these Sword and Shield sets now that they've been out, and reprints just aren't really going to happen. Even if they do, they're not going to be that massive. Pokemon's moved on now. It's in the Scarlet and Violet era now. This is the cheapest you're ever going to get these products. It really is. Vivid Voltage, again, not that desirable of a set. You've obviously got the giant chunky Pikachu chase card. Retail price over in America right now. It's discount season on all of these. Cheapest is $140. I know there's one here, but I would not buy this one. This one looks fake to me. It might not be fake, but it just doesn't look right to me. The colours look off, and the condition's not that good as well. I checked it out earlier. Actually, that does kind of look a bit legit. It's just very bad quality control. This was all sort of like mid pandemic when Vivid Voltage came out, so quality control at some of these factories was absolutely awful. So it really is like a mixed bag with sets that came out at this time. Just look at the quality control on that. That is absolutely horrendous. I actually do think that's a legitimate box now. It's just not in great condition. And for an extra, like, what is it? So for an extra pound, that's even cheaper actually. That one, that 140. No, it's not. That's 137. That's 140 for an extra like £2. I'd just get this minty fresh one, to be honest. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Maybe you want to maximise your profits and get this hideous looking one. Sorry if this is your box, but you look like you're a professional reseller anyway, so I'm sure you won't be offended by me insulting just one of your boxes. Battle Styles is again very surprisingly having an increase in price. I don't know why. Battle Styles is a terrible set in my opinion. Maybe you like it, maybe you like the Urshifus. So cheap here in the UK, still below retail price, still on the Pokemon Center for retail as well. I would not invest in Battle Styles if I were you. However, that is really cheap to pick up an old booster box of something. Maybe you want to make a play on it, but like I said, me personally, I like to invest in sets that I enjoy, and I do not enjoy Battle Styles, and a lot of people don't enjoy Battle Styles, so do bear that in mind if you're going to invest. Chilling Reign has a very flat week over in the US. We obviously had a restock of it on Pokemon Center a few weeks ago. I was telling everyone on the channel to buy it within 2 hours of our video going up. All you guys bought it out because it was going for 140. Now the cheapest on eBay is 210, so kudos to you if you managed to pick one up for retail a couple of weeks ago. Evolving Skies, another nice flat week. I like the stableness of Evolving Skies here in the US market. Again, UK market is a little bit different. We've actually seen a bit of a price retracement in the last week or so on Evolving Skies. Some people are just dumping them. Full transparency, I am selling one of my Evolving Skies booster boxes. I'm not selling out of Evolving Skies. I just want to free up some money. And full transparency, this is my auction here. Mark Sornoff, that is my eBay tag. I'm selling one for 600. I know there's cheaper ones on here at the moment. There's two that are currently cheaper. No, three. This one just got listed as well. 550. That's a good deal. If you want a cheaper box, buy this one. I'm putting mine up for 600 because I'm not in a rush to sell it. I'm selling it with an acrylic case. And if you want to buy a piece of my collection, then there you go. You can buy it. It's no rips or seals or anything. I may as well advertise it while I'm here. It comes with the acrylic case. You do need an Allen key to open up these bolts. I will not be supplying that because I have lots of these acrylic cases and I don't have many Allen keys. So there you go. There is a little bit of a wear to these Pokeballs, these white bits where they've been rubbing against the case a little bit, and on the back you can see that massively. But if you do want to buy one of mine, I'm going to do a special offer for subscribers. If you want to chuck me a cheeky offer of $5.90 and say that you're a subscriber, I might just accept it for you. But the reason why I'm selling my Evolving Skies is just to free up some money. I just bought a new PC and it really hurt my bank account. I just spent 1,500 quid on a new gaming PC because my old one was about 8 years. And it's important to realise with these investments as well, is like, don't be afraid to take profit. You know, I bought this box. I think if I average out all of my booster box prices on Evolving Skies, I think I average out to around about £300. So I've pretty much doubled my money, a little bit less after fees. I do think Evolving Skies is going to continue to climb, but I'd just like to free up a little bit of money to offset the cost of a purchase, and I'm not selling out of Evolving Skies. I have multiple booster boxes. I'm just selling one, and that's one of the really nice things about Pokemon investing, is like everything is just so liquid. Like if, for example, I drop my price to $550 on this with the acrylic case, it'll just sell instantly. I'm just not in that much of a rush. I know 600 is a fair price. I know this last week you getting some cheaper ones going up. If you want to buy them, go ahead. I'm not saying you have to buy mine. I'm just saying the price will go back up to 600 in no time at all. So yeah, if you do want to shoot me an offer for 590, just say you're a subscriber in the offer, and I'll hook you up first come first served. Fusion Strike at the moment is holding pretty steady. Weirdly though, I was looking at this. So like last sale on TCG Player, $329. But everything else is like 250. So I don't know if that's wrong or not. What's going on with the US market at the moment? Very strange. But we'll keep an eye on that over the next couple of weeks. Cheapest on eBay at the moment in the UK is 160. I mean, you can just pick it up cheaper on the Pokemon Center website for, what was it, 140 something? 143. I always forget what retail is. I should remember that. 143.64. What a strange amount. That's probably because of tax reasons. Where we're at, Fusion Strike, there we go. Brilliant Stars is actually continuing to climb. We've been tracking this over the last couple of weeks. That is finally starting to move on the US markets. I think people are just finally eating their way through the stock in the NA markets, and people have basically bought them all out for retail price. We said over the last few weeks that it's starting to climb, and that's a really positive thing. We've been wanting Brilliant Stars to rise for a while. We've been predicting it for a long time. Great to see it start to move now, and in the last week we've had another jump up, so we've gone from about 185 to pretty much the $200 range there, so around about a $15 rise there, which is about 8% over the last week. That's actually huge. I know in previous weeks we've been looking at like Evolving Skies jumping up like 25% in a week and stuff like that, but we need to remember that 8% return on investment for a week period is actually amazing. Like if you compare that to some of the returns in like say a bank account, like a high interest bank account, you'd be lucky to get like 6%, maybe 7% in like a fixed rate ISA over the period of 1 year. You can get that return in 1 week on Brilliant Stars. That's absolutely brilliant to see. Brilliant to see Brilliant Stars rise. 144.99 is cheapest on eBay at the moment in the UK. However, you can still pick it up on Pokemon Center for retail, so I would probably just get it from Pokemon Center. You might be able to get it a little bit cheaper in the wild if you can find a third-party retailer like a big store or something that it has some stock that is trying to move. You may get it a little bit cheaper, but stock is starting to dry up on Brilliant Stars, and I do expect that when the UK retail stock starts to dry up and it comes off of Pokemon Center, we'll start to see this kind of rise like we are seeing in the US. This is why we compare both the US and the UK markets, because it kind of helps us see where markets are going trend wise, and it's important for you US guys to see what's going on in UK markets as well, because it just helps you see the bigger picture of what's going on in the global economy. Astral Radiance, we're getting into the last few sets of the block now. 182 last sale, but we saw 10 go for 175. Basically stable this week. Again, I don't think it's available on US Pokemon Center. It is still available on UK Pokemon Center. Cheapest on eBay is 143. That's a pretty good price, but you may as well just pay the extra, what is it, 50p or whatever. Well, it's actually less because with postage, you may as well pay a little bit less and pick it up for retail on Pokemon Center UK. Lost Origin is actually pumping in the US. It has been for the last couple of weeks. We've been paying close attention to this. This is because at this point here, around about the end of April, we saw it go out of stock on the US Pokemon Center, and now you're seeing it really start to climb. It's doing the same in the UK. Again, you can't pick it up anywhere for retail in the UK anymore. Cheapest on eBay is $250 now for Lost Origin, really starting to pump away. Silver Tempest is also starting to do well in the US, really starting to climb up away from that retail range as as Brilliant Stars is. Like I said, I kind of lump Silver Tempest and Brilliant Stars together. I think they will rise at similar rates. They're very similar sets, and they both had similar stock allocations with the reprints that happened right at the end of the reprint window for Sword and Shield. But so good to see these starting to creep up in price now on the US markets. You can still pick them up for retail though here in the UK. Like I said, there's still a little bit of stock floating around here in the EU, but I do think that's going to dry up over the next 3 to 6 months, and then we're going to see it have a nice little slow climb. Like I said, my predictions are Fusion Strike and Astral Radiance. I would buy into these heavy if you're looking to get into some Sword and Shield. This is your last chance to pick them up for retail. As soon as these go out of retail, I think they're really going to start climbing up in price. I'm talking 7-8% a week. I would not be surprised if we see these sort of returns on these products, and then the money will start to flow into Brilliant Stars and Silver Tempest. But like I said, it's discount season at the moment. There's so many discounts going on. Forget Sword and Shield base. Rebel Clash is declining. Darkness Ablaze is like right at the bottom of where it would ever be. Vivid Voltage is holding stable at retail. Like, I really do think that if you look back on this video in like a year or 2 years time, people are really going to kick themselves for not getting into these for retail price, considering they're like basically almost guaranteed to be out of reprint window now. Yeah, I do think these sets are going to do really well over the next couple of years. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe down below. I will always keep track of prices so that you guys don't have to. You can just tune in, watch my weekly video and see exactly what's going on in the market, and I will always make recommendations whenever I see plays available. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.